Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Ned Reynolds, Mike the intern in the studio. Tuesday morning, the temperature is getting a little warmer in the pot for the golfers that are now playing for the rest of the tournament. Why are these golf tournaments this weekend so different than the ones we've had so far this year?
Because it is a limited number of golfers who are playing. These are the high achievers in the point rankings. Every golf tournament, and we talk more about the purse, the amount of money that they win, than we do about the points. But every tournament has a point total assessed to it for the FedEx Cup, which is what they're playing for this month. Anyway, at the end of the season, and the regular season ended last weekend, the top 70 players on the Pro Tour are the ones who will play now for the next 3 weeks, or at least for next week. Here's the deal. The tournament tees off on Thursday in Memphis. This is the St. Jude Classic. It is a $20 million purse. The winner will get somewhere around $4 million, but over and above that, at the end of that tournament, the field is cut to 50 players. And then they have the BMW Classic, which comes up the following weekend, and the field is cut then to the final 30 players. And they're the ones who compete for the first prize, which is $20 million, not the purse. That's what the winner gets, $20 million. Of course, Scotty Scheffler got it last year, and Scotty Scheffler is the odds-on favorite to win it again this year. He and Rory McIlroy really don't have to play in these first two rounds. They've already accrued enough points to get to the finals, but the others do, and they will be in there charging on Thursday and getting, hopefully for them, a spot in the next round and then in the final round, because that's where the really, really big money is.
Yeah, and again, it's when you watch these guys over a 3-day period, we talk a lot about some of these guys with the focus that they have to make it through a tournament. Now it's not just, it's like it turns 3D chess into 4D chess for these guys, but also it makes it a lot more interesting, I think, as a viewer, because they can really follow these guys as opposed to a board that's got a ton of dudes and you only get to watch a little bit. You actually get to watch these guys throughout the tournament a little bit more, which is pretty cool, and that means more naps in our future. It was on this date 104 years ago that a staple of the sports world began. Ned was just a wee lad, and what was going on?
104 years ago. There can't be a time when today's kids, and really adults too, older adults, wouldn't realize that baseball was not broadcast. But it was. 104 years ago today, the first game ever, first Major League Baseball game ever on the radio. Pittsburgh Pirates and the Philadelphia Phillies, KDKA in Pittsburgh, one of the staples and one of the highest respected radio stations in the country, broadcast the game. One of the great pros, Harold Arlen, did the play-by-play. First game ever. Now you sit back and you think, as kids growing up, you listen to games regularly on the radio. Now you watch them on TV. How times have changed over that 100 years. But indeed, 104 years ago today, first broadcast.
If you've ever laid down in bed and listened to a game as a kid, you know exactly how magical just listening to it on the radio is. And don't forget, our sister station, 105.1 The Bulls, got St. Louis Cardinals baseball, and there's plenty of it left. It looks like college basketball tournaments will remain intact, at least for now.
Yeah, there's been some noise about adding teams to the tournaments, both the men and the women. Maybe as many as, right now there's 68, but many, 72 maybe 96. It really wouldn't change the dates all that much. But that was turned down yesterday, so for next year, and I'm talking about 25-26, it will remain 68 teams in the men's tournament, 68 teams in the women's tournament. That means you have the play-in round, and that counts in the NCAA. So it does stay the same, at least for one more year, and then I really think that somewhere along the line they will change the number.
Cardinals on the West Coast last night. Kind of a late game, if you will, but who got the dub?
And they do get the win. At Dodger Stadium in the Chavez Ravine, Cardinals nipped the Dodgers with a run in the ninth inning, beat them 3-2. The big story, Sonny Gray, who is arguably the best pitcher on the Cardinals team. He's had some down moments here since the middle part of July and gotten hit pretty hard, but Gray is really effective against certain teams, and the Dodgers are one of them. He shut them down last night, 1 run, 1 hit, and 8 strikeouts over 7 innings. Now, Gray can do that because he is a pure pitcher. He's not a power pitcher at all. But he can fool you. He struck out 8. That big sweeping curve comes in there, and hitters who aren't ready for it are going to go after it. Anyway, Cardinals score a run in the ninth inning, beat the Dodgers 3-2. Cardinals do remain 12 games off the pace in the National League Central Division, now with 48 games to go. It's a big margin. And the wild card with a number of teams in front of them, still it's a long shot, but then again, you never give up.
Hey, at least they're fighting, and that's all that matters. Same with the Kansas City Royals. They didn't stop fighting last night, but it wasn't enough to beat the Red Sox.
Now, it has to be a little disappointing for the Royals, too, because they started this newly acquired Bailey Falter, who they got from the Pittsburgh Pirates, who is really a pretty good pitcher. Had 7 wins for the Buccos this year, and Pittsburgh's not a very good team. Had 7 wins, 5 losses, and the Royals thought they made a pretty good deal. This reporter thinks they have, because Falter has a lot of ability, but he got shelled last night. First inning, gave up 5 runs to the Boston Red Sox, and really, while the Royals did finally equal that, Boston also tacked on some more. And 8-5, the Red Sox won it. The Red Sox are only 3 games out of first place. They're really giving a hard charge to the Toronto Blue Jays and trying to fend off the New York Yankees at the same time. Anyway, actually the Royals out-hit the Red Sox in this game, 12-11, but it's Boston 8, Kansas City 5, and it's a tough loss for the Royals.
Definitely, and just like you mentioned with the Cardinals, time is running out of that hourglass. Chiefs, first preseason game, super stoked. They're in Arizona. Ned Talk starts when?
5 o'clock. 5 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. That is 5. The football game itself out in Arizona will kick off at 7 o'clock, which I may be mistaken on this, Mike, but it's probably only 8 o'clock because Arizona does not have daylight saving time. So there's an hour difference as opposed to 2 hours. But be that as it may, it'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff, our time here, and you'll hear the game right here on the Cave, and should be a lot of fun. Ned Talk at 5, that's the Chiefs pregame show locally. We're on for an hour. And then from 6 to 7, it's the Chiefs Network pregame show, just like it was last year. And then the football game starts at 7. How many of the regulars do you think we'll see? Well, I think it'll be limited. Maybe one series, maybe even less than that. Who knows? But once Andy Reid makes some key decisions and sees how some of the newcomers are playing, out they come, and in go the Scribinis.
Yeah, and like he says, he always says, yeah, they'll play a quarter, but it's always, he'll see what he wants, even if that's 4 downs. What are you going to do next weekend when the Chiefs play? Their game is at 9. Ned Talk's going to start pretty close to your bedtime, buddy.
In fact, it's past my bedtime.
Yeah, I know. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.